This is Petty Rose here. Today I'm going to be telling you a good review of the Sony action camera. This one here is the Sony HDR AS30V, and I'm using this camera as a replacement for my Gopro Hero 1, which I'm also recording at the moment. So during the past month with this camera, I've really enjoyed using the camera. This camera has 1080p at 60 frames per second, so it's a very high quality camera at the moment. I know that since it's 2014, you do have the new Sony cameras at the moment, such as one that they're just about to release, which is going to shoot in 4K, one that's going to be splash resistant, and another one which is a lot smaller than this version here. One of the features I enjoy about this camera is back here you have a special lock, so when this trigger here is just facing upward, it's unlocked, so you can press the shutter button right here to start recording instantly. You don't need to turn it on like the GoPro, or if you just want to save the battery and make sure it doesn't turn on while it's in your pocket or something, you just clip it up over here and it's completely locked. What I like about their new housing is the buttons over here. So now what you can do is simply press the buttons. Yeah, press the buttons just to change what you want to do, whether it's take a photo or a video or a time lapse, which I've already done a few of those. The one thing I will mention, this is just something good to keep in mind with the camera itself, which I'm taking out now. Just around the back, just around here, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but there's a special lock which is just below the shutter button, so it's always good to unlock that before you put it into any casing that the Sony action camera provides. Now, besides this, action camera, the casing, I've decided to get myself another casing that they have, because for me as a diver, and I just want to get into deeper water, this is not a suitable housing, because this will go down just up to 5 meters, so it's not as deep. And also with these dome lenses, it's not good in the water. It just gets all foggy and stuff. So what I've decided to do is I bought myself a dive housing, and for my review with this dive housing, I'd say it's really good for video and taking photos. However, if you want to change from video to photo, you have to take the camera out of the casing, which is a bit annoying. So that's something I wish Sony could improve on with it if they make a new dive housing. Just like their new casings, just have a dedicated buttons on the side just to adjust it. However, for a good review, I definitely like the dive housing, because you can take it down 60 meters. You have glass, and if you compare flat glass lenses and these plastic dome lenses, it's a lot clearer and you don't have any blur inside the camera. Originally, another thing that I'll mention that you might have already noticed in the video, you'll see these little packets in here. And these are just anti-fog inserts, so just very handy to have if you take the camera in any of the casings. Because with the casings they do fog up eventually. Another thing I've got that I've taken a few times on some trips is the LCD screen, which I really like, and how you put it on is very simple. You have the little latch bit at the back here. Simply clip that open, open up the casing for the LCD screen, and also make sure that the camera's on lock as well. Carefully place it in. And good to go, you have your own little camcorder. So this is one thing that I like about the Sony action camera as well, that they've done different to the GoPro Hero cameras. They've made it more like a proper camcorder, so if you want to record your favorite moments, you have a very nice LCD screen to see, and it just feels like a camcorder, so I really enjoy that. I need a hero to save me now. I need a hero to save me. I need a hero to save my life. A hero will save me just in time. One thing that I wish that they'll do is, if they make a new LCD screen, is either for the cameras, try and move the microphone port, which is just right here, either somewhere up here or on this side here rather than down here, because it's very awkward to use. So if I grab my microphone, you'll be able to plug it in, which is good. However, you can't do it with the LCD screen because it's not at the bottom, and you also have like a special type of connector inside the LCD screen just to connect the camera and the LCD screen together. So I see fire inside the mountains. I see fire burning the trees, and I see fire hollowing souls. I see fire, blood in the breeze, and I hope that you remember me. That's something I wish they could just improve on. However, you can get a frame mount, just like the GoPro's frame for the Sony action camera, and it has a multi-purpose, so you can get the tripod screw parts, and you can put it onto the sides or onto the bottom. So I might consider getting one of those later on, and I might do a small review there, but I'm not too sure if I'll do a review on it. But ideally, you'll have access to the stuff at the bottom, so if you want to recharge your camera while you're recording, you could do that, or if you want to use the microphone, you can use that. What else is there to mention? Oh yeah. The other features that I enjoy with this camera is recently I've just tried out the GPS on the camera, and I have to say the GPS is really cool. I do have some sample videos of the GPS. So with GPS, you do need to get one of their software online called Play Memories, and with Play Memories, once the GPS is on, you're able to record not just your video, but also the track you've done, the distance, speed, all that kind of stuff will be recorded onto the camera as well. The one thing I find challenging though, this is something I've found out last night when I was recording with GPS on when I was on my bike, and that was you do get a little bit of lag when it comes to low light conditions and the GPS on. I think it could be the just long recording perhaps, but I did find that a little bit challenging because since I was doing a very long bike ride, the GPS or the video started lagging because it was a very long video and it's just doing a whole heap of things. So it's always good to just make sure you make it nice and small, make it easy for the camera, not putting too much pressure onto the camera. That's something I've learned. This camera also has Wi-Fi on it, but at the moment I haven't tried out the Wi-Fi. I might make a video about the Wi-Fi, or same thing, I might not, but there's definitely Wi-Fi on this camera. I just haven't tried it out yet, so that's something that you'll just need to find out yourself. The battery for the camera, I definitely like the batteries compared to the GoPro batteries, because the GoPro always changes their batteries since now the Hero 4 camera's out. They need to change the battery because of the LCD screen, that kind of stuff, and it's just a little bit fussy anyway. It's good just to have a camera. It's going to have a battery that could work on any other brand, on any other camera it has. So I find that very useful for the Sony. Now this is another thing to say is for the SD card, they've also got you can also insert an M2 card in the same slot as the SD card. So it's a little complicated when when you put the SD card in, because the SD card slot is also an M2 slot. So when you put the SD card in, it does fumble up. So that's something just to consider. Another thing, what else? So with the Sony action camera, they've decided to make a different turn compared to the GoPros. So you have a tripod screw instead of the GoPro legs, or whatever people call them. So at first you'll think, how are you going to mount the Sony action cam onto something that's GoPro related? Now, they do have their own adhesive mounts and accessories, but I was talking to a friend of mine who has a Sony action camera, and he says these aren't the best. So what I've decided to do is I've got myself a adapter. So these you can get in any store fairly cheap, but very easy. Simply grab a camera, or grab your Sony action cam, or any other camera with a tripod piece on. Connect that, and then grab whatever you're going to mount it on, say this pole. and then just connect it on. And you're good to go. So that's something I find handy. With some of my friends who have Sony action cameras, what they recommend is just use the GoPro mounts rather than the Sony mounts. You can use the Sony mounts, but you do whatever you want anyway. Just preferably GoPro is the leading action camera in the market at the moment, so their mounts are very accessible, so you can get the mounts anywhere compared to the Sony mounts, which would be a bit more limiting. Now I'm just thinking if I forgot anything. Okay, that sounds like everything. Hope you guys enjoyed the small-ish review. And I'll see you all in the next video.